Imagine a world with multiple different human species. Species that are all human, yet they are separated by hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. This was indeed the world of 50,000 years ago. Neanderthals, Denisovans, Homo floresiensis, and of course, modern humans, all coexisting at the same time. What was it like when these different species encountered each other? Perhaps they did not find each other as peculiar as we would find it today if we saw an entirely different human species. After all, the coexistence of different species had been the norm for hundreds of thousands of years. Did they just compete with each other for resources? Or did they have more meaningful interactions? Perhaps cultural or technological transfer? It is only recently that we've begun to answer these questions with some degree of precision. Consider the Neanderthals. It is estimated that they separated from modern humans around 770 to 550,000 years ago. Their primary base was in Europe. Meanwhile, modern humans have largely been confined to Africa until around 130 to 100,000 years ago, when they briefly spread to the Near East before retreating to Africa once more. This time period also coincided with the spread of the Neanderthals out of Europe into the Near East as well as Central Asia. There was certainly an opportunity for the two groups to meet each other in the Near East at this point. However, for whatever reasons, modern humans did not displace Neanderthals in the Near East at this juncture. Instead, they retreated to Africa. It was later, about 60,000 years ago, that modern humans expanded to the Near East once again. What interactions did they have with the Neanderthals? Using recent advances in ancient DNA technology, we can see, for instance, if there was any interbreeding between the two species. To determine this, scientists compared the DNA of Neanderthals to present-day Africans and present-day Europeans. What they found is that present-day Europeans share about 9% more mutations with Neanderthals than present-day Africans do. This evidence indicates that Neanderthals interbred with those modern humans who made it out of Africa. When and where did this interbreeding happen? To get a handle on the timing, imagine a Neanderthal modern human couple. Their child will be a 50-50 hybrid. If this child later mates with a modern human, their offspring will only be about a quarter Neanderthal. Ultimately, the Neanderthal share in the DNA continues to decline over time. By looking at how much Neanderthal DNA people have today, scientists can thus estimate the time elapsed since the first mixture event. The analysis points to 54 to 49,000 years ago. This means the interbreeding happened during the second expansion of modern humans out of Africa, and that it happened in the Near East. Interestingly though, there were likely many other interbreeding events in other places. For instance, a 40,000-year-old fossil from the Oase cave in present-day Romania had a Neanderthal in his family tree no more than 6 generations prior. However, this more recent interbreeding in the European continent was an evolutionary dead end. The Oase individual does not seem to have any living descendants anymore. The interbreeding event that did leave plenty of living descendants up to this day is the one about 50,000 years ago in the Near East. So how much Neanderthal DNA do we have today? Well, that depends on who you're considering. Africans have practically none, because they do not descend from the population that expanded out of Africa 50,000 years ago. However, despite the fact that the Neanderthals' homeland was in Europe, all non-Africans, not just Europeans, have about 1.5 to 2.1% Neanderthal DNA. This is because essentially all Eurasians at least partially descend from that initial population in the Near East 50,000 years ago. What's more, even though the homeland of the Neanderthals was in Europe, present-day East Asians have more Neanderthal DNA than present-day Europeans. This is because Europeans later mixed with another human population with little to no Neanderthal ancestry. but that's a story for another time. So why is our Neanderthal ancestry so low? There are several theories. It could be that modern humans just did not interbreed all that much with Neanderthals. Instead, their relations were more adversarial, and modern humans ultimately won out due to their technological and cognitive edge. It could also be that Neanderthal and modern human communities tended to join forces to an extent by interbreeding. But the Neanderthal population size was just lower. In addition, research also suggests that Neanderthal modern human hybrids were less fertile, which led to a gradual decline in modern humans' Neanderthal DNA share. In reality, probably both of these theories check out. Neanderthal modern human encounters most likely happened differently in different places and times. The time period about 50,000 years ago must have been a fascinating chapter of human prehistory. In fact, there is also evidence that modern humans interbred with another human species, the Denisovans, which will surely be the topic of a future video. Would you interbreed with a Neanderthal? Let me know in the comments.